If you find yourself wanting to call your mom, but you freeze every time your finger hovers over her name, this is for you. You miss her. But every time you talk, your stomach twists. You hang up feeling worse than before. And it messes with your head because everyone says you only get one mom. And you believe that. You love her. But you don't feel safe around her. Not emotionally. It's like you remember the warmth of being little, sitting in her lap, her hand in your hair. That version of her still lives in your memory. But the version you talk to now, she makes you feel small in all the wrong ways. Like she's never really listening. Like anything you say might trigger disappointment or guilt or one of those weird fake laughs that say, "You're not making sense." You start telling yourself you're just being dramatic. Maybe you're the problem. But deep down, you know the love is real, but it doesn't feel safe anymore. And then it gets even messier. You try to explain this feeling to your boyfriend or girlfriend, someone you thought might understand, and they say something like, "She's your mom, just talk to her." And suddenly you feel even more alone. You miss your mom. But it's not just her you're missing, it's the idea of her. The version of her you built in your head, who always knew what to say, who protected you instead of making you second guess your worth. You miss being the kid she used to adore. And now that you're older, you're realizing she doesn't see you the way you need to be seen. This video isn't about blaming her. It's about finally being honest with yourself. So let's talk about the real signs that show up when this is happening, and what you can do quietly to stop letting it hurt your relationships too. If you have a soft heart that overthinks everything, this is for you. Sign one, you rehearse every sentence before you call her. You plan how to sound happy even when you're not. You think, okay, just say enough so she knows I'm alive, but not enough that she starts criticizing my choices. And that's already exhausting. Imagine doing that with someone who's supposed to feel like home. This fear of being misread bleeds into your relationship. Your boyfriend texts, "What's wrong?" and you freeze. Because you've learned that being honest means risking rejection, even with the people who claim to love you. You're not hiding because you want to lie. You're hiding because growing up, telling the truth usually ended in tension, silence, sure, or tears. So you become a master at filtering. You say, "I'm fine." You say, "It's just been a long day." And deep down, you're hoping someone, anyone, will hear what you're not saying. Sign two, you feel guilty when she does something nice for you. Like she buys you lunch or sends you a message saying she's proud. And instead of feeling joy, your chest tightens. You think, do I owe her now? You're scared that her kindness has strings attached, that the next time she gets upset, she'll remind you of all the things she's done for you. In your romantic relationship, this shows up as over-apologizing. Your partner forgets something small, and you're the one saying sorry, because your brain is wired to make peace, not waves. But peace doesn't mean shrinking. The way out? Let yourself feel uncomfortable without fixing it. You're allowed to just exist without proving anything. You know when someone asks, "Do you talk to your mom much?" and you lie, that's sign three. You say, "Yeah, we're close," because the truth feels too messy to explain. You don't want to sound ungrateful. You don't want them to think you're bitter. So you cover it up with smiles, emojis, and fake memories. You say, "She's just old-fashioned," or "We just have different communication styles." But that's not it. It's the emotional tightrope. You never know what mood she'll be in. And it's scary because one day she's soft and the next day she's icy. So you protect yourself by avoiding. But the cost of that is you start doing the same thing in your romantic relationship. You hide parts of yourself, scared of being too much or too confusing. You'd rather be quiet than risk being seen and misunderstood again. One time, Todd told his girlfriend he felt weird after a phone call with his mom. She replied, "You always seem down after talking to her." And that hit him. He didn't even realize how much it showed. That's when he knew it wasn't just a mom problem. It was bleeding into how he loved. Sign four, you catch yourself parenting her. You're the one calming her down, validating her feelings, managing her reactions. And you're exhausted because you were never given the space to just be a kid. That habit carries into your relationship. You feel responsible for everyone's emotions but your own. Your partner has a bad day, you drop everything to fix it. You think love means carrying the whole emotional weight for two people. But love isn't about being a sponge. The moment you realize that, you start to breathe again. You stop confusing caretaking with connection. If you find yourself over-explaining small things, this is for you. Sign five, you feel the need to justify every decision before she even asks. You're already writing the defense in your head. why you chose that college, why you didn't call back, why your boyfriend isn't like other guys, and you're exhausted from living on trial in a courtroom that exists only in your brain. The real heartbreak, it's not just about her. You start doing it in your relationship too. You want to hang out with your friends, but you're already drafting a paragraph to your boyfriend explaining why it doesn't mean you don't love him. You say things like, "Is that okay with you?" Even when it's just a normal boundary. Because somewhere along the way, you learn that your choices need permission. You deserve to do things without guilt. You deserve to not feel like every step has to be explained to avoid conflict. You deserve ease. Sign 6, you mistake silence for peace. When you and your mom don't talk, you tell yourself, at least we're not fighting. But silence isn't peace. It's a cold war. You feel it every time her name pops up and your chest tightens. You've convinced yourself that distance is protection, but deep down it just makes you feel like something is always unfinished. And this pattern follows you. Your boyfriend says, let's talk later, and you spiral. You think it means something's wrong. You think love equals constant communication or something bad is going to happen. You crave reassurance, not because you're needy, but because you were never taught what real emotional safety looks like. You want peace, but you're scared of confrontation because you've only seen it as screaming or shutting down. But real peace? It comes from being seen and accepted in the middle of your mess, not after you've cleaned it up. If you have a heart that holds on too long, this is for you. Sign 7, you find yourself defending her to your friends even after she hurt you. You say, she did her best, or she had it harder than me. And maybe all of that is true, but it doesn't erase the pain. It doesn't mean your feelings don't matter. You can understand her trauma and still feel angry about how it shaped yours. And here's where it gets complicated. You start doing the same thing with your boyfriend. He forgets something important, and you rush to explain it away. He's tired. He didn't mean it. You carry the weight of everyone's backstory, trying to be the bigger person over and over. But when do you get to be small? When do you get to be held? The truth is, it's hard to let go of the version of your mom you still wish existed. The one who sees you, hears you, protects you instead of making you doubt yourself. And maybe that version shows up sometimes. Maybe that's what makes it even harder. But it's okay to accept that love and pain can live in the same room. It's okay to love her and still need space to heal. You're not broken for wanting more. You're not ungrateful for needing boundaries. And you're definitely not dramatic for being hurt by someone you love. You miss your mom. That part is real. But maybe what you really miss is the feeling of being emotionally safe with someone. And here's the hope. You can build that with someone else, a friend, a partner, yourself. You get to reteach your heart what love is supposed to feel like. And if no one's ever told you this, you didn't deserve to feel anxious around someone who was supposed to protect you. You're allowed to grieve the version of love you didn't get and go find the version that feels like peace.